It's 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and there's a bunch of overflow work I need to do from the last sprint. One was the site I'm building for mom that I didn't have time to really pay attention over the weekend, and I got to finish the design for that. And if time permits, actually build out the site. It's just plain static CSS, HTML, and I'm designing the site in Adobe XD. This is the first time I've really used XD extensively to design a site, and I'm learning a few things about the product. I'm still not completely comfortable with it. I think it's missing a few features, and perhaps I'll talk about it on one of my videos on how I do design. It's also 3 months since my last haircut, and today is haircut day. I've been putting off getting a haircut for a long time because I have to do the haircut myself, and my wife has to cut the backside. So today I'm going to sit down and see if I can cut it down to something decent. The last haircut attempt was not particularly successful, but fortunately I have curly hair, so it all curls up, and any mistakes that are there in the hair cutting don't show up. So that's the plan for today. It's a tad after 11, and the haircut is done, and well, it's about the best job my wife Sudha could do in the time available. I think she's done okay. There are a few bald spots that I've covered up with other hair, but then again, I think I'm getting bald anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So this is going to be my look for the next 3 months until the next haircut. And now I get into doing the next thing, which is continuing with mom's website. So this is the current state of the design. I'm using, as I said, XD for doing the design. The design is responsive, so for each page that will be created, I've got designs for different widths. I feel I may have a few more widths than I really need to. For example, the 2K, 4K, and 5K widths are probably not necessary. But then really I have a 4K and a 5K monitor and a Surface Pro, which has a resolution, about a 2K plus resolution, and I wanted the site to look good on those, and mom uses the Surface Pro to deliver her lectures, and so I thought, let's make it look good on those devices, and that's really the reason for it. If I were doing this for a professional site, I probably wouldn't do the 4K and 5K resolutions. The number of people using those kinds of monitors is relatively few. It depends on the audience, of course. The other problem I have with XD is it doesn't provide a whole lot of help for responsive design. They say they do, but maybe I'm using the product wrong, and I find it hard. I'm manually adjusting the sizes of every image to get to the correct widths and layouts, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of help with doing that. Maybe there were some flow control tools that help reflow it. The third problem with Adobe XD is I'd like to get the site CSS in some form, or at least guidelines for a site CSS easily created. And I guess maybe that's a little too far, or maybe I should look into some other product. I don't see that. And the last and final problem is I can't get fine-grained control over placements. I'd at least, even if I can't get a full CSS, I'd at least like dimensioning like you would get in CAD software available, so that I can use those dimensioning hints to then get the to create a CSS style sheet manually. Yes, I can click on an item and I will get the dimensions here, but then I have to do that for every single item, and there are a lot of things here on the screen, even for a site as simple as this, and it'll take a while to transfer all that into CSS. I'd like it that there was one place where I could get dimensioning, or even a visual indication of dimensioning conveniently shown, yeah, that would have been nice. It's not there, but that's one of those things. That's what I think is XD is missing. In any case, this is where I'm at. I'm doing the lecture page, and this is what it looks like right now. It's basically I took the a smaller dimension, and now I have a smaller screen width, and now adjusting it for the larger screen width. The course page looks like this. fairly straightforward, nothing fancy. And I'll be spending some time, and I'll give you an update on how it looks once I'm done. It's 1 o'clock and time to break for lunch. And I'll resume design a little bit later in the evening. Actually, it'll be a longish lunch, perhaps watch an afternoon movie and then come back and resume. Okay, it's 5 o'clock and I finished designing the lecture page for Mom's Development Economics course. And now I have one more page to design. Like I said, there are several variants of each page, so for various device widths, and so that's what I will get started with. What I usually do is I typically take one of the other designs and just copy and paste that entire the width variants below the to create my next page. Move it down a little, and that's it. And now I can then start customizing the page to do the thing. So this is the final page of the site. As you can see, it's a fairly simple site. It just has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages in total. So really simple, nothing complicated. The reason for this design, this exercise, is actually twofold. I, strictly speaking, didn't need to do all this work for just a site this small, but I'm also doing a tutorial on the web development process, and this constitutes part of that work. And I'll put a link into my web application development tutorial in the description below. So I'll check in with you guys after I finished the final page design. Okay, I finally finished the lecture page for Mom's website. So this is what it looks like. I've got multiple versions of this. So I'm quite pleased with it. It could do with a few improvements. I'm missing a few things, but for the most part, this is good. So I'm going to call the design done and move to the next stage of generating the style sheet for the site and then getting it rendered. So that's the task for tomorrow. It's 11:30 at night, and it's a wrap, folks. So that's the day for me, and I'll resume tomorrow morning.